Hi everyone, this side Arohi from Pipefit Technologies, and in my today's tutorial I'll talk about random forest. I'll be discussing like what is random forest, how random forest is better than decision tree, what are ensemble methods, and what is bagging, bootstrap, aggregation. These kind of things I'll be discussing. So let's start. So basically see, random forest is a bunch of decision trees bundled together. So, see, if you don't know about the working of decision tree, then check the video attached below in the comment section, as you need to know how the decision tree classifier works before learning the working nature of random forest algorithm. So, basically, as I've told you, random forest is just a group of decision trees, right? So, the dataset on which we are working today is this mushroom classification. So this is the screenshot of that data. We are going to work on 20 records. We are having 20 rows, and how many features we are having? We are having 18 features. See, feature 1 to feature 18. So on the basis of these 18 features, this is a y column. Y means the dependent column. The means what we want to classify. So basically random forest is a classifier and a regressor also. So first of all I'll be discussing about the classification part, and then I'll tell you like how regressor, random forest regressor work. So in classification problem, so this is a class column, this is a y, this is what we want to classify. So on the basis of these 18 feature, we want to classify, random forest will classify whether that particular mushroom is edible or poisonous. P means poisonous and E means edible. Right? This is what the problem is on which we are working today. So, see, whenever we are using random forest, so the very first step is to divide your data set into a smaller subsets, right? So suppose on this data, I want to build a random forest classifier, and random forest means group of bunch of decision trees. Suppose I want to build a random forest classifier and I want to have 3 decision trees in it. So that means I have to divide this data into 3 different subsets, right? So every subset need to be distinct, means every subset I want to design I want to develop 3 decision trees. So I have these 3 subsets of the data, means I have divided the data into 3 different parts, and data every small subset will be having the different values. See, some records may replicate, some records may get copied in both or 2 or 3 of the subsets, but every dataset should be distinct. So let's see, this is the data which I have prepared for first decision tree, and this is the data for second decision tree, and this is the subset for third decision tree. So this is the data. See, this is first decision tree. We are giving first subset to this, and if you'll see over here, in this first subset, what all features I'm using? Feature 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 18. Right? I'm not using all the features. We are only using these features and these rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Means I'm using first 7 rows and these features for the training of first decision tree. And for the second decision tree, the row I'm using is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 up to 15, and the features I'm using is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Right? The features in this subset and the features in this subset and even the rows are different, right? So if we'll talk about this third subset, you'll see feature 12 to feature 18. Now this feature 18 is present over here also, and it is present in first subset also. As I've told you, like some features may replicate, right? So 18, feature number 18 we are using in third subset also, and we are using that same feature in over here also, right? And if you see row number 8 and 9 in third subset, this is also present in subset number 2, means some records may replicate, right? So these are the 3 subsets. On these 3 subsets we'll train our 3 decision trees. So this is the data I'm training, giving this data to first decision tree, this data I'm giving to second decision tree, this third subset I'm giving to third decision tree. So what we are doing over here, this process is called bootstrap. Bootstrap simply means row sampling and feature sampling. Row sampling means we are randomly selecting few rows and we are giving to our algorithm. And feature sampling means we are randomly selecting few features and we are giving separate features to every decision tree. This row sampling and this feature sampling, it is called bootstrap. So what we have done till now is we have performed bootstrap. Bootstrap means divide your dataset into smaller parts and perform row sampling and feature sampling and give that data to your decision trees. So we have done with this much of part. So what will happen on these three different subsets? These three different algorithms will get trained. Every algorithm is getting trained on different sample of data. So once your algorithm get trained, now we want to make the predictions. So the output which will be getting up from this decision tree is based on this data, and the output which we'll get from this decision tree is based on this subset. In the same way, output from the third decision tree is based on the subset which we have given to the third, which is in the third subset. So first decision tree is saying the mushroom is edible. Second decision tree is saying mushroom is poisonous, and third decision tree is saying mushroom is edible. Now we'll calculate the majority. We'll check the majority. Random forest will check the majority. So the majority is edible. So the final output will be edible. So this checking the majority, and we are doing aggregation over here. We are getting all the output from all the decision trees, and then we are checking the majority. Voting on the basis of that, we are finally random forest is finally giving us the output. So this process is called aggregation. So aggregation simply means we'll check the majority voting from the classifier. So this process is called, when we are dividing data into subsets and giving to algorithm, this is called bootstrap. And when every algorithm gives us the result, we'll check the majority voting. This is called aggregation. So bootstrap plus aggregation is bagging. What is bagging? The bootstrap concept and the aggregation concept. Now you know what is bootstrap and what is aggregation. Bootstrap means provide separate subset to every decision tree, and those subsets should be different from each other. And then aggregation means we are checking the majority voting. So this is bootstrap and this is aggregation. This is called bagging. In short, we can say bootstrap plus aggregation is bagging. And this bagging is a ensemble method. Now what is ensemble method? See, ensemble method simply means when we are combining the predictions from multiple machine learning algorithms. So over here, random forest algorithm is a type of ensemble algorithm, right? Because why random forest is an ensemble algorithm? Because in random forest, we are combining the predictions from multiple decision trees, right? And ensemble method simply means when we combine predictions from multiple machine learning algorithm can be any other algorithm, but in random forest we combine output from the multiple decision trees, right? So random forest is a ensemble algorithm, right? So okay, now let's talk about decision trees. See, as I've told you in the starting of my class, like if you want to learn a random forest, then you should have knowledge of decision tree, right? And I've told you to check the video in the comment section and study that first. So basically, see, deci random forest is a bunch of decision trees, right? So when we were using the single decision tree, there were some disadvantages. Those disadvantages were low bias and high variance. Now, low bias simply means that our algorithm will work properly on training data. Means it will give you good result on training data. Error will be very less on training data, right? And high variance means error on test data. Means it will not perform good on test data. Low bias means it will perform good on training data. High variance means it will not perform good on test data. Why? Because decision tree have a problem of overfitting. Overfitting simply means instead of learning, it will start memorizing the things. But in random forest, we are using multiple decision trees, right? So that means each tree will have high variance. As I've told you, like decision tree have high variance. In random forest, each tree will have high variance, but when we combine the result of all the decision trees together, then we will be having low variance. Getting my point? Individually, every decision tree will have high variance, but in random forest, we are having multiple decision trees, and when we combine the result of all the decision trees together, then we will have low variance. Now, why so? Because in random forest, we are doing row sampling and feature sampling. As I've shown you, like we are picking random samples of rows and features, and we are training every decision tree on separate data. So what will happen, that our decision trees will get expert on that data, right? So once our decision trees, once our algorithm will get expertise on that particular data. So that's why this is how we are overcoming the problem of high variance. Means to change this high variance to low variance, what we are doing for it is, we are simply, see over here, what we are doing over here is, we are not checking the output on the basis of one decision tree only. We are having multiple decision trees, and on the basis of majority voting, we are getting the final output. And moreover, we are having lots of decision trees, and every decision tree is getting expertise on that particular data. So that's why the problem of high variance will get changed to low variance. That problem will get solved, right? So see, as I've shown you, as I've just told you, the disadvantages of decision trees, and which we can easily overcome in random forest. So this is how you can use the random forest classifier. See, from sklearn.ensemble. So as I've just told you, what is ensemble? Ensemble simply means when you combine the predictions of multiple machine learning algorithms to give us the final output. So this random forest classifier belongs to this ensemble family, and in this variable I'm calling random forest classifier. And see, this is the parameter which is very important. N estimator is equal to 50. That simply means how many decision trees you want to have. So if you want to have 3 decision trees, just write 3 over here. If you means, you need to give number over here, how many decision trees you want. Criterion entropy, this is just to check the impurity. So to know more about entropy, you can check the video below. In that video I've explained the mathematical mathematically how this entropy works, right? And then fit your algorithm. We are training our algorithm, and this is how you can test your algorithm, and we are getting 92% accuracy on this data, right? So this is how random forest works. So basically, see, yeah, one more thing. See, we have random forest classifier and regressor also. So in regression, the difference isn't, see, the only difference is, in regression we calculate the mean, we calculate the average of all the outputs of the decision trees, and in classifier we check the majority of vote. This is the only difference between classifier and regressor. So the basically, in conclusion, we can say that the idea behind random forest is that by training each tree on different samples of data, random forest will have low variance. Means random forest will give you good result on test data, because here we are not dependent on output of one decision tree. Output will be based on the majority voting. Right? Thank you.